Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Zaki Osara with the student ID A1B224049. In today, I will continue my weekly assignment of try to act like a native speaker. There are similar questions in a book, but they got a little more philosophical than you just did. But they both lean philosophical. Science can describe how gravity works, but can they describe why it works? So this is the how why duality here. And allow me to answer it from how why point of view, and then we can apply it to gravity. After I say that, in science, if we can describe how something works and predict its future behavior, we claim to understand it and we move on. You can ask deeper questions about it. Why is there gravity? What is the meaning? What's the purpose? And go ahead, but I'm good with what I have done, and I can land a spacecraft on Mars inside of a crater in a hole in one using my understanding of gravity. So I'm pretty good with it. Okay. So I'm not distracted by the more philosophical side of that. Why does it work? Okay. Einstein, Newton has Newton was deeply puzzled by how can you have something called, in which he coined the phrase, an action at a distance. He wrote down the equation that worked. He won any question. The earth goes around the sun, the moon of Jupiter go around Jupiter. He accurately described that with his equation of gravity. Okay? He said one day, I think we're going to find some way that they are connecting to each other, but I don't know what is it right now. But I know my equation worked. He called it spooky. It was spooky to him. That was his word. Spooky action at a distance. Fast forward 300 years. Fast forward 300 years. 300? No. Fast forward 230 years. Get to Albert Einstein. Gravity is the curvature of space and time, and you're moving on curvature of that fabric. That's gravity. Oh my gosh! Is it even a force then? Is it even? So there is no need to think of it as an action at a distance. In a phrase first uttered by, I think it was John Archibald Wheeler, a student of Einstein, and I learned relativity from John Archibald Wheeler. In fact, that's where I met my wife in relativity class in a graduate school. So it's space. So it's space. So matter tells space how to curve. Space tells matter how to move. It moves on the curvature of space. You don't need action at a distance. There is no action. It cannot do anything else but do that. It's like you have a funnel and you take a ball and you roll it on a funnel. The ball can only do what the funnel tells it to do, and it will circle if you give it a sideways motion. It will start spinning around. There is no magic hand coming in there. It is following the curvature of its space-time continuum. This construct that you provided for it. So now I can describe what gravity is doing. I can even have a mechanism for it. Are you gonna still ask me why is there gravity? Is that answer is not fulfilling enough to you even in the why department? Because, well, why would a particle curve space? You can just keep doing that. That's fine. But is there a point really where you will satisfy with the answer? Or that answer my why? I can say, well, why did the half of liter what of but Well, I can say, well, why did this half liter of water drop off the edge here? Well, it's no longer the force are imbalanced, and it's a no. But why it's fall? Why did it fall? Well, there is nothing holding it up. Why did it? There's a point where it's not especially productive to continue to think about the world that way, because what I'm claiming is the answer onto how. When you understand the how enough, are tantamount to having the answer the why question. That's all. That's what I'm telling them. Okay, you got bald head. We can say, well, why did you go bald? Well, okay, the hair follicles at when you start in your late 20, and when do you losing your hair? Probably late 20s, early 30s. That's common. If you have your hair when you're 30, you will probably have it for the rest of your life. That's how that goes. You'll start losing it up until you go 30. So you can say, well, the hair follicle begins not to produce the keratin or whatever. We got the explanation, and then you say, well, why does the hair follicle stop doing that? Then you say, oh, well, because the DNA has pre-coded about the hair thing, the hair kind of thing. Well, why does the DNA have the hair? Okay, that's all the 5 minutes of the video. Thank you for today. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.